Hello and welcome back to Pittsburgh Vaydor. I know it's been a little while since I got a video out, but I got good reason. I've been trying to reroute the gas line, but I need someone to help me remove the kit. You can't really do it with one person, and I haven't had anyone available to come help me. So I've been trying to wait for that to, reroute the gas line, do all that stuff, and it's just not happening as of right now because I don't have anyone to help. So I'm going to move on to the dashboard. I'm going to remove the radio and everything like that again. And there's some stuff you have to cut out of the middle of the dashboard. You have to cut out some of the area here and down here. And I have a picture of that, so I'm just going to cut where I see on that. And then I'm going to test fit this in the car. And I got a few rolls of the foam padding that I need. And I'll be laying that out with the glue and everything and bonding that down. I'm going to sand this whole thing down. As I said last time, as you can see, there's still residue and stuff. It's still sticky. Another thing that I'm going to have to do that's different from some of the other Vaydors is I'm going to need to cut up here, and I need to install the defroster vents because here in Pennsylvania you kind of need a defroster, especially if you're going to drive it anytime that's not midsummer. So I'm going to figure out how I can install those defrosters, cut the holes for that, and then lay down the foam and get everything on there. I'm not sure how far I'll get in this video, but that's what I'm going to be focusing on for right now. Alright, this is the first time the dash has been test fit in the car. It fits pretty well right now. I'm going to have to mess with it a little bit. This centerpiece will go in more, and I need to get it to sit flush and everything. And I'm going to need to cut the holes up there for the defroster. If I come out, I can show you what I mean. I'll have to take this off real quick. And if you lift up here, I put the vents for, actually you might not be able to see. Yeah, I put the vents for the defroster right there, that foam piece. So how they run is they start from about here in the middle where this white piece goes and comes all the way to about here. One sec, it needs to focus, there we go. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it. I might just cut here and modify the vents so they're kind of like that and just end like here, small defrosters. I just need something. It might take a while if they're smaller, but I just need something to make it work. So I'm going to figure that out and then cut the holes for it. And then that way I can get the foam laid down and everything worked out for the dash. Okay, so actually plans changed. My brother came home, so he's able to help me remove the kit on the car. So I'm going to move some cars around on the driveway so we have space to take the kit off. And then we're going to take the kit off and I'm going to start doing what I need to do for the gas lines. Okay, so we've got the kit off. You've seen me take it on and off a million times, so I just decided not to film it this time for whatever reason. Come around here, once again, have the gas lines. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take the wheel off, even though we cut out a lot of this metal, just to make it easier so I don't nick the tire or anything. And I'm going to cut those lines real quick, going to reroute it. I'm thinking to come along this back bar here because that's where the hole for the gas cap sits. So I'm going to zip tie the line along here and then it'll come out right around here. I'm going to leave extra line on there for now just so whenever we get the kit on I can move it around if I need to. and then cut it to the exact length I need further down the road. I'm also going to be taking out a lot of the random junk and stuff and sweeping and tidying up wires and everything that's going to be hard to get to once it's bonded down. I also need to paint these. So there's a few things I need to do, and I'm going to do it all. I might just put on a time lapse and just do it all at once because it does take a while to stop and film and then stop and film. So I'm going to see what I can do, and I really need to get this together because it's been a while and I just need to get this stuff done. So I'm going to put the camera down and get as much of this stuff done as I can, and I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. So I went around and I started painting a lot of these pieces. I did miss that one, actually I have to come back and do that. I painted over that, the welds and stuff, but what I didn't end up painting, because I'm going to look into it a little bit, is the tabs and everything for the windshield and then the support bar and stuff like that, that you actually put the panel bonding adhesive directly to, because I'm assuming you get a better bond if that adhesive goes straight to metal instead of the paint on top of the metal, because if the paint fails then the glue isn't going to do its job. So I'm thinking I should just leave it without the paint on it and then paint over it after I get the kit glued down. So I'm going to leave these pieces unpainted, at least for now, until I make sure for 100% that I'm not supposed to paint them, or it would be a better bond to just leave it as metal. So I'm going to look that up, but for now I'm just going to leave it like that and then continue working on some other stuff around. I cleaned up a lot of the other big junk in the car, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. Another thing that I do have to do though is I have to ground the wires I have just from the wiring harness here. I didn't have the bolt for this anymore because I cut off the location for that, so I just ground it to a bolt back there. That's super temporary, so I'm going to find an area to ground that. And besides that, all I have left to do is this gas line and the fender wells, then we can bond the kit down. So I'm going to go do that now. And unfortunately, I will be using just a regular jack for the next couple videos, because when I had to force these fittings back together, I actually popped the O-ring inside of them popped out. So I need to get new fittings for the quick jacks, and I really can't use them right now. So I'll just be using the regular jack to lift it back up for the next couple days until I can get those replacement parts, but not a huge deal. Just wanted to let you know that's why I'm not using them. Alright, that was actually pretty easy. We used a hacksaw and just cut straight through. I was going to use the reciprocating saw, but I didn't want to make any sparks or anything. And Jimmy suggested I use a zip saw, but I didn't have one, so I just ended up going with the hacksaw. It took a little while, but it wasn't all too hard. So we got that cut across. Now all I got to do is slide on the new tube to both sides, clamp it down, run it through, and as I said, I'm going to leave it a little bit extra long down here so I can adjust it in the future once we get the kit on. I don't want it to be too short, so I'm going to do that now. It shouldn't take too long. The longest part was cutting it, taking the wheels off and stuff. So I'm going to reroute that real quick and then put the wheels back on and lower the car back down. Alright, this 1-inch tube actually fits perfectly around the stock tubing, so no issues there. That slid right on. I'm going to tighten up the clamp so it's not going anywhere, it won't leak. I'm going to do the same with the smaller hose. It's a little hard to film while I'm doing all this, so I'm going to put the camera down to show you what it looks like after. Alright, so I got the hose clamps on. These are secure. What I do need to figure out is how to get them to come down and out along down here lower, because there is this original Fender well that I'm either going to cut a hole in it or something to make it work. I need to figure out what the best way to do that is. I can't really just run it around it because it kinks the hose. So I'm going to figure that out probably another day, but I'm going to put the wheels and tires back on since that's the part I needed to do with them off, just so I can put the car back down since I don't have the quick jacks. It's not as safe up here. So I'm going to put that down real quick and then figure out what to do with the rest of the gas lines. Okay, car's back on the ground. I'm going to probably Google and try to find out what I'm supposed to do with this. I might just end up cutting a hole around here and then sticking a rubber grommet and making that waterproof again. And then once again, I'm going to leave this extra long. I stuck these on here, but I didn't clamp them down just so I don't lose the piece. But once I get the kit back on, I'm going to be cutting this. This is the spacer for the front. I just got 1-inch ones. I bought those before I even had the wheels, so I don't know if those are even going to be the right size, but I'll try those probably next video or something. Battery, once again, not hooked up. I still need to bolt that down. There's a lot of little stuff I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to be filming, but I'll at least catch you up on what I do after the fact if I don't film it while I'm doing it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.